All right, everybody. Well, as you know, our Houston Texans are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight and Monday Night Football. So we wanted to get some more analysis on all of this as we're really supporting our Houston Texans. So I'm bringing in our wonderful colleague as well, Kim Davis. She's the co-host with H-Town Sports Talk, joining us live on Zoom. And Kim, I know the entire city is excited. I got my red on. I'm feeling it. Got a little blue on because, you know, their colors are combined here. So let's talk about Texans. Let's talk about the Steelers. Monday Night Football. The spotlight is going to be huge. So what are your feelings when it comes into this big wild card matchup for these two teams?
Well, first of all, if my feelings are, I think the Texans are poised to play well tonight. I think the Texans are in a good position. Many people are picking the Texans, but as we get through the weekend, I've been listening to ESPN all morning, and you have people with the sentiment, and they want to see, Aaron Rodgers win and go out with a swan song. I think this is going to come down to really this Texans defense. And while people don't give the offense very much credit, or C.J. Stroud, I think the offense has been doing enough. I think they've been getting trending in the right way. And I expect that C.J. Stroud and the offense is going to surprise some people tonight. Not those that watch the Texans all the time, but others. If you're expecting them to blow it, get into a shootout and, put up 45 points, that's not who this Texans offense is. And Sharon, now is not the time of year to change what you've been doing. So I think the Texans are going to do well tonight. I think it's going to be a tough game. There are a lot of Texans fans in Houston. I just ran into a couple that came in from Virginia when I went downstairs to get some coffee. But there are also, my flight from Houston was filled with Steeler fans. How is that possible?
Wait, huh? They're fans all over the country. We know
they're all over the country.
Houston Texans fans do show up for this match. Now, of course, there's some other elements involved. It's going to be cold. It's going to be in about the 30s, yes, but that's still good football weather, in my opinion. My thing is, though, this defense is so solid. I've heard other teams always talk about they're nervous when they play this defense. So even though you've got the Aaron Rodgers on one side of it, he has got to be probably watching out for that defense from the Houston Texans because they are a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. So Aaron Rodgers is one of the best to ever do it, right? Here's the thing. You're not going to fool him. He can make every throw. He's going to know what to expect. He's going to make the proper check downs, all that. But it's not so much that you know what's coming. It's can you stop it? And that's the key. I don't think that they're going to be able to stop it. Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers of old where he was a little more mobile. He's still got some stuff in his bag. He's still got a great arm, but I still expect this Texans defense to get after him early. And it's going to come down really to what can these two offenses do. And again, I think the Texans offense is going to be able to, they're going to be able to run the ball. They're pretty healthy. They've got Kamari Lassiter back. We mentioned defense. And when you have him on the back end with Derek Stingley and then Jalen Petrie, Kalen Bullock, and forget about what we see up front with Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter and those guys inside. This Texans defense, as you said, nobody wants to face them. The good thing is, when I came in yesterday, Sharon, it was snowing, but there's not supposed to be any snow tonight. It will be cold. There's a little wind this morning, but it's supposed to die down. So it's going to be football weather.
I love that. That's fantastic. Now, what does our offense have to do to protect C.J. Stroud from that Pittsburgh Steelers defense as well? Because, I mean, they're not maybe as strong as our Houston Texans when it comes to their defense, but they still have a lot of credit to their name. So what does C.J. and the offense have to do?
They have to do what they've been doing to protect the ball. This offensive line has been playing well. CJ was sacked a lot early in the year, and the last several games during this win streak, they've been able to keep him upright. He's got to protect the ball. I think he'll do that. One of the things is that because he's played in the playoffs 2 years previously, I think that experience helps him know what to expect. So what they have to do is not make mistakes, not get pre-snap penalties, and not turn the ball over. They can do that.
They can. Now, before we go, because we have about 45 seconds, normally I don't put you on the spot on this, but what are the scoring odds from Vegas talking about what you said the score is going to probably be lower, but what are the scoring odds you're hearing right now?
So the last time I looked at the line, the Texans were 3.5-point favorites. So that line may have changed. I'm not really sure. I haven't checked this morning, but that's what the odd makers in Vegas, not that I really pay attention to that, but that's what they were saying.
Same here, same here. Well, listen, let me let you go because I know you got a lot of work on your plate this morning before going to that big Monday Night Football matchup. You're in Pittsburgh. I'm so jealous of you, but I know it's going to be amazing. You're working, so let's throw it for our Texans.
I'm working, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's worth it, though, right?
That's right.
Always. Well, listen, everyone, it's Kim Davis, co-host for H-Town Sports Talk, and make sure you join us tomorrow. We're going to have all the recap from her and beyond. Thank you so much. Great job, and have fun tonight.